sit with Kit. Everybody wants to sit with Kit. Sit with Kit. Sit with Kit. Everybody wants to sit with Kit. Yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Kit Carson. Hi, everyone. We got fans walking by. Yep. Anyway, it's Kit Carson here in front of Angelina's Pizza, home of the #1 pizza shop show on the internet. #1. And as always, I sit out here every night. I talk to the rock stars, the heroes, and the gods, occasionally a tourist. But today, I have a wonderful person with me. I'm going to ask her to look into the camera and tell everyone your name and where you're from.
Hello, world.
Hello,
I'm Barb
world.
Grob. Wait, am I supposed to talk into this?
Yeah, talking to that.
Hello, world. I'm Barb Grob from Key West Local Luxe, the greatest store on earth. Whoop, whoop. Sorry, I just finished my live show.
Oh.
So, like, that's my intro.
Okay.
And I'm like, Anyway, hi. Hello.
So, we heard live show, but before we get to that, let's do a little backstory on you. Where are
Back
you?
it
Where
up.
are you from?
I grew up
Where did you?
I grew up in Missouri.
Missouri.
It's a great
Oh.
place to leave.
Yeah, Missouri. I've heard that more than once. So,
the capital city of Missouri is where I went to high school.
sounds miserable. So let me ask you a question. How did you get to Key West?
I lived in Mexico for a year before I came here.
Mexico.
Yes, and I learned Spanish there, and I had a boyfriend who was from Spain. A nice enough guy, he was all right, but my visa ran out. We had to come back to the States, and he did not have any interest in learning English, so he wanted to go to Miami. And by the time that we arrived there, our relationship was over.
Over.
And blah, blah, blah. It was one of those situations like, I'm moving on. You got two options. He chose to stay on the street corner, literally, in Miami, where he still lives today.
On the street?
Well, I hope he has a place to live, but we parted company on the street corner, yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I hope he's doing well. But anyway, I came here in 1996.
1996.
As a sculptor and muralist.
As a what?
Sculptor and muralist.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know what the market is for that. But if you're a sculptor and a muralist, that's what you do.
That's what I did for many years.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, one of my first jobs on the island, which immediately fell through, was doing paintings, a mural here I was hired to do, and then it fell through with somebody who's I don't think is involved anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, the Hideaway and that kind of stuff. Back in the day.
Back in the day. So that's how you got here. Do you remember your first day here? First week here?
Well, I know that. So I came here with a girlfriend, Bridget, who I think still lives in San Francisco.
So what?
I think she still lives in San Francisco.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You know Hague. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. We lived down, so it took us a long time to find a place to live. We got here broke as a joke. And so we came here in a minivan, two near 30-year-old young ladies, and our two dogs, my little dog and her big dog. And we did not have enough money to find a place. Even then, it was expensive to live here.
Always has been.
Yeah. So we secured a place in Bahama Village, right behind Johnson's Grocer.
Oh yeah.
Love the Johnson family.
Big B.
Big shout out to
Big.
William.
Yeah, I love that guy.
I know. He's
one of my favorites, man.
He's so sweet and cute and great.
best.
I love him. I
The
know.
best.
Whole family so
I love
sweet.
him, man.
And so anyway, Bridget and I lived in the minivan with the two dogs up at the the Chevron up on Stock Island.
Oh wow.
For 2.5 weeks until we could get together the money for our down payment. We would swim in the ocean and we would shower at Douglas pool.
Douglas Gym, yeah.
At the pool,
Yeah, right.
the public pool. Most people don't know we have one, but we do.
Man.
It was intense. That was 27 years ago.
But it didn't seem that bad, did it?
I hate to admit it, but I've done a lot worse than that.
Amen. Yes,
Haven't we
indeed.
all?
Oh yeah.
I mean.
Oh yeah. Of course we have. But you know, that's what's fun about life. You know. So fast forward a few years. I know you had a plethora of jobs, and now you currently own a store.
I started my store in actually May 1st, 1999.
Wow.
So here in just a week and a half, I guess it is.
Yeah.
May 1st is our 24-year anniversary in business.
Wow.
There's been a few evolutions
right.
and locations.
Right.
But yeah, May 1st is my 24-year anniversary.
Where was
in
your
business.
first location? I'm trying to remember.
No one remembers it.
Right.
It was at 1100. Yes, it was at 1100 Truman Avenue, which is now a real estate office.
Right.
And it was interesting because they demolished the little building. So you know Key West and how they make such a big deal about the history
Right.
of Key West. So there's this big fancy house there. There was just a historic home. But during bad times, that family, one of the wealthiest families in Key West, put an ugly little lean-to concrete block building on the front of their house to make money.
Oh.
I rented that, and then they demolished it, and I'm like, wait, so you're saying that history is only the pretty stuff? Please.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
well, that was a period in Key West history where you were allowed to build a commercial storefront in front of your house.
Save your butt.
Yeah,
Yes.
and there was some rule about it. It was tax-free, or you could do it. It was something they did.
I think it might have been in the
40s,
50s,
30s.
late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah.
I think it was after the big storm.
Right. And,
Yes.
And I keep seeing more and more of them now, even forget they're disappearing. Like the last one that I've seen was across from the funeral home on
Oh yeah.
on Simonton Street.
Yes.
The two houses next to.
Yes, and now they're vacation rental houses.
Yep, now they're
I know
vacation
exactly
rental.
what you're talking
And
about.
it
By
used
Duck
to-
and Dolphin.
Yep,
yeah.
exactly.
That's my hood.
Yep, and it used to be great apartments in there.
You
There
know,
was a
it's
bicycle
funny.
shop in there.
Right. Patrick's place.
Yeah,
Fixed Gears. That's right.
Man.
Patrick's awesome.
Ah, man.
Patrick, shout out to Patrick.
Yeah.
Yes,
Things
Patrick
change,
Salter.
damn it. Yeah,
Yes,
it
it is weird how
It
things
is.
change. I mean,
What's the biggest change you've seen in this town?
Sheesh. There's been so many, and so many eras.
Right.
You know,
That's true too.
I mean, remember in the late 90s, early 2000s, when Fantasy Fest was just ridiculously fun and cute and sweet, and everybody was awesome, and it wasn't like Holy Go to Hell Nasty Swingers and How Gross Can I Be?
See, I thought that was in the early mid '80s.
I'm not saying people didn't get it on. They did. And people also did some stuff, you know, drogas.
Yeah.
But the vibe was definitely a little different, you know.
And it's changed so much since when I was first here.
How long have you been here? How many tenure tables on this interview?
Most of your life. Well, I've moved here June 1 of '85.
Okay.
So like a lot of the events like Fantasy Fest was still only, it was like year number 7 or something. You know, a lot of events were only in their single digits. And now they're double digits with 3s and 4s in them.
Of course.
You know, of course, I think the oldest one has gone away. The old Peterson Poker Run disappeared.
Yeah.
And Fantasy Fest will probably follow suit in the next 5 or 6 years.
I kind of
Who
feel
knows?
like you're right there.
You know, I mean, I hate them going away, but I feel like it's kind of just
Well, and it's
evolution.
interesting. Thank you. I agree. And you know,
Something will come along and take its
when I moved
place.
here in 1996, this was still a very safe, uniquely safe place to be gay. And now that the world has thankfully, knock wood, become more open-minded, there are lots of festivals where it's okay to be just flamboyant as you
They've
want.
taken our gayness away, damn
I
them.
know, right?
It
I'm
pisses
like,
me off.
please
I'm a
bring
little
back-
upset about that.
I love the gay boys. They're so sweet and funny and creative, and they're tidy. And I'm all like, I'm sorry to stereotype you, but it's a great stereotype. I mean, come on. And we hurt you.
Once again,
Don't take our gay away.
I've lost all control. Yeah, don't take our gay away.
I'm sorry,
Well,
did I get out of control?
no, not at all. But you know, you're correct. I mean, when I used to go places, I would always say, you know, I can't wait to get home where I see 2 guys holding hands and 2 girls kissing. Oh, and a guy wearing his pet around his neck.
I'm okay with all that.
And now it's like we don't have that many gay, or they're not that obvious, and nobody wears their pet anymore. And it's like, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I ride my bicycle with my 2 dogs. I
Yeah.
have the one, Gigi, my 14-year-old, in the front in the basket, and then my little girl, Bunny, who's 2.5, in the back. We call her pup holder. She sits against my computer bag. And then I go rolling with my bitches every day.
With your homies every day?
Yeah.
And they love it.
Yeah.
You know what? I've got a 80-pound Labradoodle that's almost 2, and he's been on my scooter since he was born.
Almost 2. What you gonna do?
He loves riding my scooter.
So cute.
Oh, he just, he runs out the door, jumps on, and wants to go for a ride. And he knows how to do it. And he's huge. It's kind of funny. So let's go back to talking about you and where you are now.
Okay.
We were talking about your store. You have a store that you're currently been in for a decade?
I've been on Fleming Street for 13 years.
13 years?
Yes, I've been in my current location at 515 Fleming Street for 8, going on 9 years.
You were across the street or something,
Yes.
weren't you?
In the little tiny store that was supposed to be a 4-month pop-up, and it lasted for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Right by
that's where we
assortment.
officially met. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, probably.
And we'd known each other before then, but you bought
Yeah.
Valerie.
Yeah, I did.
Kit has a beautiful wife, Valerie, who we love, and he bought her a pair of Turkish wedding boots from my store.
Yep, that's true. True story. That was
Probably
10 years ago?
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
easily 10 years
Yeah.
ago. And so now your store is at
515 Fleming Street,
and the name of your store.
Key West Local Luxe.
And
You know I have a card in my pocket. Hold on.
well, here we go. This
Here it is.
is kind of one of the things I do enjoy here is letting people talk about themselves and what they do. Now you have a YouTube channel, or are you just on Facebook?
Well, so yes and no. We do have a YouTube channel. I have to admit I'm not really that active on it.
Okay, so you have something that is like a local QSQVC with your face on it.
Kinda, sorta.
I've seen you doing something.
Yes.
And what is it you do? Once again,
So
the backside of
the
the
backside of the card has the information about my show. So so it goes like this. There's a progression really. So my show is called The Pretty Party.
The Pretty Party.
Tonight was the 265th episode.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Wow.
265 episodes. We do them once a week.
And
Hello, world, and welcome back to The Pretty Party with me, Barb Grob. I am your host, and we're live streaming. You're now dreaming from Key West Local Luxe, the greatest store on earth. Whoop whoop. This is my live and interactive jewelry shopping show, yo. It is called The Pretty Party, and it's about to get started. That's right. Tonight's the night we'll make history. I mean, maybe we will, maybe we won't. I mean, I
you do it once a week.
yeah.
Man.
Thursday nights live at 6, pick up 6. It's a very silly jewelry shopping show. It is not like JTV. Random rhyming helps me with timing, and bad singing is my thinking.
Yeah.
It's silly. Yeah.
Right on. And you've been doing it like 5 years.
Well, we actually started, we really started during COVID,
Okay.
October of 2020. And at first, the learning curve is large. So at first I was like, I'm doing it. The store's locked. I got to make money.
Right.
I got to do this. So we started doing shows 5 days a week.
I
It
gotcha.
was brutal.
I
The
gotcha.
learning curve of, yada, yada. But recently, everything got a whole lot easier. It's awesome. And quick hits are these. It's now a weekly flash sale, about 20 pieces, up to 50% off. Each show is different. VIPs sign up to pre-shop on Wednesday, and then Thursday it goes public with our show. And I do like a fit video and show everyone how the jewels look. I just finished my show tonight.
Well, you dress like this anyway.
This is actually my personal stuff.
Yeah,
I took my show jewels off because I don't want to, they don't belong to me, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
would be used.
I was wearing sapphire and diamond, like holy go to hell, magic on. I'm like, I don't want to. Oops.
I get it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So that's a huge kudos to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You took a bad situation, figured it out, and now it's turned into something that actually works well.
It's amazing, honestly. It's embarrassing that it took so long, but at 250 episodes on our anniversary is when I was like, I'm done with the app, and we fired them. So now, just 14 shows later, I guess it is, it's never been better. Like, we have hit our groove. We actually sold more than 15% of our show. Yes!
Wow.
Most of it pre-show, most of it pre-live.
That's awesome.
It's a huge, big change.
That's just a really super cool grassroots digging down and figuring it out and making it work.
I don't care what's gonna happen. We're gonna win. Keep doing it till you get it right.
I know. Well, that's anybody in this town that is successful in business for 10 years is huge.
That is the common thread.
And
you do what it takes.
Exactly, and that's what small business is all about. You work how many hours, you do whatever it takes, you do everything you can, you never stop, you just keep going.
That's right.
And that's just a testimony of your mentality and how you persevere.
You ought to know.
Well, yeah, and that's true. I mean, I've seen this town go up and down, booms and busts, The first Gulf War, I thought we were all going to go broke, and after every hurricane, you wonder if it's ever coming back, and
right.
A lot of things like that. So, but there's a lot of common threads in this town. Those of us that have businesses here, we truly enjoy what we do. We like our tourists.
100%.
We like our customers. We love our locals. And we do it for them and ourselves, and we have a good time at it. I think another common theme is everybody says this: they live here because they want to.
Agreed. Nobody ever feels stuck in Key West like they can't leave.
Right.
You can leave at any moment.
You'll hear people go, I don't, my car's not running, so I can't leave. If it was, I'd leave. You see them 3 years later, and they still don't have a car, and they're still here. And now they don't want a car, and now they're
You know that
happy.
I haven't driven a car in 34 years.
34 years?
Yes.
I know people that live here that never had a driver's license.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Never had one.
No,
not at all. But hey, that's the joys of living on a little island that's 2x4.
Well, yeah.
You could literally walk there if you really wanted to.
Do what I want.
Stick out your thumb. Somebody will pick you up and give you a ride. I mean,
Scary.
Well, anyway. Yeah, but you know who they are most of the time.
For the most part, we all know each other.
Speaking of scary, what's the craziest thing you've ever had happen or you've seen happen in this town? Anything crazy, wild?
I mean, scary?
It could be either thing.
So,
yes.
Do you remember around 1999, there was a guy who had a business here called the Mile High Club. He had a little biplane. He would take people up into the sky and pull the curtain and let them do what they want, right?
Yep.
So, and do you also remember John Baker? Remember Yellow Brick Road Trash and Recycling and several other businesses. And so he was my fiance for a hot minute there. It is what it is. We're still friends also.
And you had doves.
Oh, no, that's Jim Hale.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
John Baker did not have doves. That would be weird, but okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so John and my relationship had ended. I was kind of distraught about it. And I had a request for a date with this guy who owned the Mile High Club. And I'm like, I don't know if that's for me. And he says, don't worry. My hands are going to be flying the plane. You're cool. It's all good. And I had just opened my store on Truman Avenue. And he was supposed to come around at 3 o'clock. No call, no show. And I'm like, everybody hates me and I suck turnips and I don't know what to do. This is such a drag. I'm so upset. So I'm trying to be short. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. I close my store and I go over to Atlantic Shores, right? Real old school. Yeah. I go over to Atlantic Shores and I get a cocktail, a pina colada, I do believe it was. And I take off my top and show my giant boobies on the lounger like you do, because it was Atlantic Shores. It was a clothing optional place. I mean, I'm not going downstairs. I'm just saying, whatever. Anyway, so I'm minding my own business. I'm catching some sun. And then some guy comes up to me and he says, "Hello, Barb." And I open my eyes and there is a flaccid cat. And I'm like, I really need to take a dip. I gotta roll. Thankfully, I put on my top.
Yeah.
That's good planning, folks. I put on my top and I go down the pier and down into the water, right? I'm swimming between the Reach Pier and Atlantic Shores Pier. And I come up for air and I hear the people over here screaming, "Shark, shark, shark!" And I'm like, people are so dumb. Why do people have to be like this? And I go back under and I come back for air and they're still screaming. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should listen. Yeah. And I turn around and I see this huge holy go to hell whitewater fiasco happening shortly behind me at the end of Atlantic Shores Pier. And I'm like,
wow.
Oh, shite.
Yeah.
Ah! You know what I mean?
And you were walking on water?
Yeah. Terrified. And rightfully so, because it was real.
Yeah.
So I make it to the sand. Like, I get halfway there and I'm like, don't splash. I get to the sand. Wow. I turn around. Sure enough, dorsal fin right there. And I'm like, I can't believe this is happening to me. I'm having the shittiest day. So, you know, that's where that sushi restaurant used to be, and it's a dead-end street. So I had to scale the wall, the rock wall, in my bikini.
Yeah. Never
was thin a day in my life. Scale a rock wall in my bikini and go around the block to get back to my handbag over at Atlantic Shores. Meanwhile, all these people come up to me running like, "Are you okay? I can't believe I just saw that, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, I'm in shock. Anyway, I did that. So you would think that that was the end of the story. Nope, there's more. But it's coming quick. So then I'm like, well, this is unbelievable. I mean, I got stood up, life blows, and I almost got eaten by a shark just now, and I need another one of these pina coladas, please. Right? This day is going wonk. And so I get somewhere, I get home. I think we might have just had our first cell phones in. I mean, it was old. Michael McGrady called me and he was like, "Hey, Barbara, I know you think you were stood up, but no." And he tells me the guy that I was supposed to have the date with who stood me up had gotten hijacked by a young couple from Cuba with a Swiss Army knife. Thank you so much for knowing this story.
Yeah, I know this
He got hijacked and the plane went down amidst a scuffle with him and this couple who apparently did not really want to get it on behind the curtain. The plane went down. The couple was never to be found. Maybe they lived, maybe they died. I don't know. It was sketch AF, and we all know it. But anyway, he was in the hospital with third-degree burns all over himself from rocket fuel. So the story gets a smidge weirder. 2 more steps. And so I'm like, oh, that's horrible. I find out where he's at, and I call the room after he can take a call. Some chick answers. "Who is this?" And I'm like, "This is Barb. I was supposed to be on the plane with him at 3. Who's this?" She's like, "I'm his girlfriend." I'm like, "Of course you are."
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Key West. This is so great. So great. All right. Yeah, wonk, wonk. So, okay, that was the end of that day, but one caveat. My store moved over to White Street and it became, someone came in and told me that I had a hate stalker that I knew nothing about. He was like writing huge articles about me and against me because my lizard sculptures were really taken off at the time. You remember those silly metal lizard sculptures?
Yep.
And like, yo, crazy lady, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm feeling kind of good right now. What? This guy, I'm not going to say his name because he's out of prison. And I mean that. Yes, this guy had been stalking me. He was very angry about happy sculptures. And yet, well, it's a long story, but he threatened mass murder at my store during a walk on white. The FBI got involved, the whole damn jam. All this is from that one day. Later, his girlfriend,
I've had bad days, but
his girlfriend got busted. She's the one who stole the like $80,000 from Big Brothers Big Sisters. That was a weird day. Did I encapsulate okay?
that was a hell of a day. That was quite a day. I mean, honestly.
It went on for years. I know.
That's crazy.
I feel like I could write an entire book just about that one day.
Yeah, you probably could.
I mean,
Minute by minute, just roll it out. Hey, you know, I mean, there's movies like that.
I'm kind of busy right now selling jewelry.
Art slut.
Art slut, art slut, art slut.
Talk about art slut for a second.
Sure.
I mean, that's one of your infamous things.
Yes, the art sluts led the Fantasy Fest parade in 2005.
Yeah.
Before the king and queen and the mayor were like, art sluts, art sluts. You come around the corner and there was like, I don't know, like 20,000 people screaming, art slut, art slut. It was awesome.
Well, you know what? I'm sure you remember him, God rest his soul, Alan Weimer.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know he passed away. I'm sorry to hear that.
He passed away.
Oh, yeah, of
Years
course I
ago,
knew him.
You know, I tried to get in touch with him, and someone goes, "Oh, you know, he died like 3 years ago." And I'm like,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
And if he isn't dead, I hope he lets us know that he's alive. But I've tried to get in touch with him, but he loved you and loved the art.
He's actually one of the people who really inspired me to take that a little bit further.
Yeah.
The quick hits were, I had an art gallery for the first time in my life, and we're on White Street, not a busy street at the time, and I would hear people walk by talking about being intimidated about going into an art gallery, so I wanted to come up with something that was silly enough to take the edge off, you know? And Alan came out, so the sign guy was busy, so I went to the t-shirt guy, and I had 3 shirts made, art slut, art slut, art slut. Alan Weimer came in and he bought 1.
Yeah.
I sold the first 3 shirts in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Alan said, you need the definition on the back. Done. We sold 10,000 shirts from White Street before 2004. Like boom, boom, boom.
That was a huge shirt around town for a while. It had a real hot minute.
And the funny thing is, there was nothing slutty about it. This was not about being dirty.
No.
This is like, I love the arts in all their forms,
Right.
you know, period.
Yeah.
And so it was like, remember the commercial we did?
I can't say that I do.
It was awesome. The commercial was, it was interviewing a whole bunch of different business owners who did creative things.
I vaguely do recall.
Yes, one of them was Christopher Rounds, who now owns La Di Da. He was a chef, and he's like, got his chef hat on, and he's like, I'm an art slut. And then we had Carmelo, who owned La Trattoria and Virgilio's at the time. And he's like, yo soy una puta de arte. It was the funniest thing.
That was pretty
awesome.
cool. That's what we used to have local commercials.
Yes, Chad, Joni's boyfriend, Chad. I love Chad. Newman, thank you. Chad Newman was the shooter, if you will, in a good way, not the normal today way.
Yeah.
Video shooter.
I just remember we used to have some really bad, which most local commercials are. But they were so bad you couldn't help it.
They were so bad.
You couldn't help but just think about them all the time, or sing them in your head.
Oh man, they were brutal.
It's just like
Channel 13.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember when Amy did the news from Mangoes. She was like, I'm Amy Culver, and this is Amy Culver, and this is whatever news, and I'm the weather girl. It's hot.
It's hot. Yeah, Amy did that. Those were good.
They were really funny.
And I remember the Captain Bob commercials. They were on like Channel 6 when they would give the 90 seconds to local advertising.
Oh yes.
Captain Bob's.
What did they call that? I don't remember, but yes, it was like bumpers.
Right, and those were absolutely horrendous. But you couldn't help but watch them.
It was like a train wreck in very slow motion.
They were horrible. I mean, we went around. They did a parody, a Star Trek parody, in one of them.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Oh my God, it was horrible. Louie, we love you, but that was really everybody talked about it, so I did its job.
Right?
You know, it's got to be either really good or really bad, and they were really horrible. In the fact that you just, it was so bad you watched. But
that guy looks like trouble.
Probably is.
Yes.
If he comes back down the stairs in 5 minutes, you know he was. Well, anyway, what else is going on in your life? I think we've scratched the surface on knowing you.
Nowadays, you know, my artwork is little tiny sculptures of earth science. You know, I love jewelry is what I do. It's awesome. And it's pretty much that. I'm turning 55 next week.
Ooh.
I know, right?
Wow.
And like, I can't believe this is happening to me. I mean, I'm kind of grateful, you know, but I don't know.
It's life.
I would have thought things would have turned out a little bit different, but for the most part, things are good. I got 2 cute puppies. Business is great. Thank God, knock wood.
Yeah.
Right?
And we're here.
I'm not stuck in traffic.
Yeah. I didn't even get stuck in that line of traffic to get gas.
I was like, excuse me, can you please move your giant vehicle over so I can get my bike around to the right of you? That was it. That's my whole complaint.
You know, and some kind of odd parody with all the lines and the getting gas down here. This is Conch Republic days. And it's kind of a weird. The whole Conch Republic came out of the roadblocks.
Right?
You know, and it was just kind of odd when I was driving by looking at, 50 cars in line to get gas last night or yesterday. And I
heard about it.
It just made me kind of have thoughts about how the Conch Republic started.
I miss Peter.
Miss Peter a lot.
Peter is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think I still have a Conch Republic passport in a box somewhere in an attic, probably, from Peter from like 1987. Who knows?
He's a great person.
He took it very serious.
Oh yeah, he was not playing. A lot of people think that was a joke or he was trying to get by with something. Oh hell no.
Listen,
he meant every bit of that.
I am the Earl of Pizza in the Conch Republic.
I have no doubt. I was telling Tim.
Where the title came from.
I was telling Tim. Angelina's Everything Pizza is my jam, man.
Yeah.
That's the jam. That's the best. I like it thin and crispy.
Well, wait a minute. Let's go to that. Come back up here while we're there. If you were a pizza, what kind of pizza would you be?
Everything, totally.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, why stop there?
Everything and spicy. And crispy,
Everything
too.
is best. Well, I don't know if this interview is over or not, but I want to remind everybody that now would be a good time to subscribe to a Sit With Kit channel on YouTube.
Sit With Kit!
If you haven't already, please do. And as always, we like it when you share. And the comments, please keep them coming. And I don't know what else we got tonight, but I'm going to ask you to please come back.
Okay.
I ask all my guests to come back again. I always hear this. There was one thing I wish I would have told you while I was there. I'm like, well, just jot a little note down, and next Thursday stop by and see me. So I try to remind everybody, come again. I'd love to have you come back.
It was a
And
pleasure
we'll
to be
do this
here.
again.
Thanks so much for having me.
Tim, it could be a wrap.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
That was so fun. Thank you.
I don't know. It seems like it was just yesterday. It doesn't seem like it was 25 or 30 years
Right?
ago.
Sit with Kit. Everybody wants to sit with Kit. I said, sit with Kit. Sit with Kit. Everybody wants to sit with Kit. Sit with Kit, starring the Earl of Pizza himself, the #1 pizza shop show on the internet. Prove me wrong. Join Kit and his celebrity guests from Angelina's Pizzeria on Duval Street in Key West, where the fun never stops. Sit back, relax, and laugh. You never know who's going to show up for Sit with Kit.